Good to go.
Okay. First question will be the easiest. Can we just get you to say and spell your first and last name for us and just tell us your role here?
Yes, my name is Rena Secter Elbaze, Rena Secter Elbaze, Elbaze, and I'm the executive director.
Just kind of walk me through what happened the other day here at the synagogue.
So in the wee hours of the morning on Friday, January 2nd, our video surveillance picked up a lone vandal who was spray painting the front of our building. So he put swastikas with red spray paint actually on all the beautiful glass-etched windows and on the brown marble. And when our maintenance team came first thing in the morning, they realized it was there. They checked the video footage, reported it immediately to police. And then we communicated to the congregation because we wanted everyone to know that something had happened and that we were acting on it.
When you found out about what had happened, how did it make you feel?
I was sad and I was shocked. But I felt also angry because I feel as a community, we've been part of the fabric of Manitoba since nearly the beginning of the province. And we have our place here, and the act was made to intimidate us and feel that we don't belong. So that upset me very much.
I saw during the service on Saturday, you kind of made mention of this to the congregation. What was it like having to do that during like a Shabbat service in the morning?
Well, I felt very strongly about letting the congregation know what was happening, to be transparent and also reassure them. I had to come up there, I had to say something to let them know they are safe here in this building. We already had pretty good security protocol in place, so we just enhanced what we already had, but people needed to know. And I also want to thank them because a lot of people showed up and also allies of the community came and were present for us, so that was important.
Is like these kind of acts of anti-Semitism is just something people in the community are seeing a lot these days?
Yes, and it's part of something much bigger. As you know, there was a horrifying thing that happened in Australia on Bondi Beach, and this could be the tip of the iceberg. There was fire bombings in a Jewish girls' school in Montreal and other acts of vandalism out east, and we take it seriously. So it's something bigger. We have to make sure we don't enable it. We have to shut it down immediately. And that's sort of why we decided to go big and to call it out.
What do you think drives someone to do something like this?
Hatred can also be ignorance. You know, there's a lot of misinformation, disinformation out there, especially with social media, and people get angry and they want to lash out. And it's harder to have hate towards somebody who's right in front of you. So we have to build community, we have to build bridges. We try to do that in our community. I think that will help a lot.
How do you think, what have you heard from community members? How has this kind of shaken them or made them feel sort of that this happened?
So a few people told me they don't feel safe coming. Most people said this will not daunt them. They will continue to come out, and even in spite of it, they will come out. We had a few people who hadn't been here for a while, and they purposely showed up Saturday morning. So that made me feel proud.
Has something like this ever happened here at the synagogue before?
We've had vandalism before. There have been swastikas, but because of the general context, what's happening in Canada and in the world, this was extremely frightening.
What do you think has to be done so that like something like this doesn't happen again?
Well, I think the political leadership has to speak out and say hate is not welcome here, and all of the community groups have to stand together. If we stand together and we support each other, I think it will make a big difference. And education. I know that the Premier mandated Holocaust education. That hadn't been really something that was part of the education system. It was more sort of voluntary. I think when people learn about things like that, they're more aware and they question what they see in social media.
After something like this happens, do like leaders in the community get together and talk about like how to prevent this kind of thing, and what does that sort of look like?
Yeah, you know, it's wonderful because we're part of a greater network with other synagogues, with the Jewish Federation of Winnipeg, with B'nai B'rith. Everybody joins together. We have a think tank about how we should react to it, react with one voice. The Jewish Federation recently hired a community security director who will give us protocols about best practices and things like that. So we do support each other in that way.
Were you able to get all the paint off the windows and everything so far?
So it was a little bit difficult because these are glass-etched windows that were done by an artist, and then on the marble it sort of seeped in. So we have one of our maintenance people working on it now, and other professionals have offered assistance if we have a hard time getting it out. But it's not so easy. You can't just paint over it in this case.
Some of that marbling that the paint just seeped into, like how upsetting is that for you to see that some of those remnants are still there on the walls?
Well, it's really a lack of disrespect and a misunderstanding of what we represent. We just finished a 2-year major renovation. This building, we moved into it in 1949. So the congregation's been here a long time, and a lot of love went into the building. I mean, it's not about the building itself, but it's about what it represents. And we're trying to always raise the bar on how we celebrate community and tradition. So it really hurts when someone damages something like that we've put so much love into.
When was the daycare open Friday when this had happened?
The daycare was open. They have their protocols of security, so they never go right in front of the building. And we're also very cognizant. There's, video surveillance and that type of thing. So they also are very careful about the kids. That's a priority for us. And it's also a joy to see those children here.
What would you say to parents who might be afraid of their kids being here, I guess, after something like this happened?
I would say to parents that we are working with local police. We are taking all of the necessary precautions to keep their children safe, to keep the congregants safe. Anybody who comes here knows that we are being very careful. And we're working with the police and with our security director from the community to make sure we're doing what we're supposed to do. We have, for all events and the Saturday morning service, there's always security guards here. And you can't just walk in, you have to buzz in. We're very careful with that.
When you looked at the security footage, what did you see that this person was doing, and sort of what did they look like?
Well, they looked very comfortable. It was someone who was fairly well dressed, and they were walking straight. They would have blended into any crowd, and they just came with the paint can and they just sprayed it. 2 minutes later, they left over the bridge.
How did you feel watching those 2 minutes of footage?
The guy was very brazen. He didn't have a mask on his face, and I thought he had a lot of nerve. But I feel confident that they will catch him, and he deserves to pay for what he's done.
So you could see their face?
Sort of. I think that the police will be able to use some of the equipment that they have to delve a little bit deeper. They probably will be able to identify the person. You can see the type of clothing, the type of shoes. We will find them.
I was wondering as well, what have the police told you as of today? I saw that there was some officers here this morning, it sounded like.
Yes, the investigation is ongoing. Major hate crimes, as a matter of fact. It's being taken very seriously, so they had to come back this morning to look around the building and check things out, and they'll probably be back again over the next few days until this is finished.
What would your message to the community be right now?
I would say, come here, show up, show your support. You will be safe here. And we need to celebrate community and who we are and be proud, and don't let people push us around.
I've seen a lot of people post, I saw there was a post on social media yesterday from CJA, and I've seen a lot of people posting on social media sort of calling this out. What's it kind of like for you to see that kind of groundswell from the community about this?
Makes me feel supported, makes me feel like we're not alone, and if it happened to another community, we would be there for them too. So I felt really happy about that.
Should I make sure I ask you everything that I wanted to ask you? Just as well, what do you think the governments can do, the city can do to sort of, I guess, try to work towards making stuff like this not happen anymore?
Well, I think we have to enforce the law that we have. The hate crimes are very serious, and I think what we need to do is to follow through. We have to show that we don't tolerate it, period. I think the politicians all need to speak up and make some kind of a statement about what's happened here today. This is serious, and they can't be silent about it. I think that's important. Remember, this is a synagogue, a place of worship where we help the widow, the orphan, the poor. This is a place like that. People shouldn't be directing hate towards us. There's something desperately wrong with that.
Are there any more like security measures that are being put in place after this? Or?
Yes, we will. What we would like to do is for certain events, we will have enhanced security with police officers. We already have a regular security company that is here for us, but it's not, it's quite expensive to have police security. People have to understand that. And hopefully there will be more government grants available to assist with that.
Anything else you'd want to add that we haven't asked you about?
I think that's all. I just want to really thank you for the support you've provided and to get out the word that we are part of this community and we need to hear the support of other communities, that we're not alone.
Just one more, sorry. I know like sometimes when stuff like this happens, some people shy away from kind of talking about this, but why was it so important, I guess, for the synagogue to be so like outspoken about what happened and really like get the message out there about why this incident took place?
Well, you see, word travels fast and bad news travels really fast. We're right at the crossroads, Academy and Wellington. People saw it. And rather than have people talk and think that we're not paying attention and we're not doing anything, we wanted to be preemptive, to let people know that we are really on top of things, we care, and we will continue to be transparent and communicate with the congregants and with the community so people know we've got their backs.
Thanks so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.